Hey, you guys, what's going on? We are having a lake day today. We are at Jordan Lake. Um, we are going to go ahead and get the boat downloaded and get out there on this water. I'll be with you in a minute. Imagine a world where women are free to create, to trust their intuition, to lead from their hearts, where men are free to feel, to connect, to support without fear of losing themselves. The divine feminine is rising, and with it, the possibility of a better world. This isn't just about women, it's about humanity waking up to the truth that balance is strength. Throughout history, many spiritual leaders directed their teachings toward the men of their time, encouraging them to cultivate traits like compassion, humility, and emotional depth. Qualities that align closely with the divine feminine energy. These lessons were meant to soften the ego, foster connection, and elevate their ability to lead with love rather than control. Yet, what's often overlooked is that women have long embodied these qualities naturally. While men were being taught to embrace nurturing, intuition, and selflessness, women were already living them. But instead of being celebrated, these traits were undervalued, dismissed, or even seen as a threat in the established order. What makes a woman sacred are the very things society has taught men to reject or fear. Her intuition, her nurturing spirit, her creative power. These are the gifts that connect her to something greater, something divine. But when a man fears what he doesn't understand, how can he possibly lead her? And this isn't about blaming men for anything. It's about revealing a system that's taught us to play roles that suffocate our true selves. Women have been asked to diminish their light, while men have been conditioned to ignore their hearts. And today, we are going to be breaking free from these chains. All throughout history, the woman has been silenced, dismissed, and even demonized. Women who harnessed their intuition, who lived in harmony with nature, were labeled as witches and burned. Women who challenged the societal norms were ostracized. The divine feminine was seen as something dangerous because it couldn't be controlled. Religion played a significant role in this manipulation. Many doctrines told women that their highest purpose was to just serve men, framing our divinity as something dangerous or sinful. These teachings weren't about faith. They were about control. They disconnected women from their divine power, convincing us that our worth came only from the approval of men or the adherence to these rigid roles. For generations, women were taught to give and give until there was nothing left of themselves. They've been told that love means sacrifice, success comes by mimicking masculine traits, and that their intuition, emotions, and nurturing nature are weaknesses that need to be suppressed. The very qualities that make women divine, our intuition, creativity, and nurturing essence, has long been feared and misunderstood. These are the very qualities that could have healed and uplifted, yet they were rejected and suppressed. Instead of being valued as equals in our own way, women were positioned as supporters of a system that denied our full humanity. And let's be honest, there's no way to truly lead what you don't understand. How can a man lead when he's been taught to fear her intuition, to reject her emotions, and to silence her voice? Leadership requires connection, respect, and collaboration. Without these, leadership becomes control, and control has no place in love or partnership. For centuries, women have been told to abandon themselves in the service of others. And over time, many of us internalize the belief that the divine qualities that make us unique were indeed weaknesses and were threats. Many women had all but forgotten the limitless possibilities within her. At the same time, men were taught to just disconnect from their own emotional depth, their compassion, and their ability to see beyond just the material world. The patriarchy conditioned men to focus on control and dominance, leaving them unable to fully connect with the divine feminine within themselves or in the women around them. We see it today in relationships: anger, hostility, resentment. Men, conditioned by the same patriarchal systems that harmed women, are struggling. They've been taught to detach from their emotions, to see their vulnerability as weakness, and to reject the very traits that make true connection possible. And let me say it again, this is not about blame. It's about awareness. Women are no longer willing to stay in these surface level relationships. They're choosing to walk away, even from long-term marriages, because the cost of staying silent, unseen, and unvalued is just too high. The highest form of love is consideration, and women are learning to consider themselves first. They're stepping away from the roles that diminish them and embracing the freedom to reconnect with their divine nature, their intuition, and their infinite creative potential. And so I'll ask again, how can a man lead a woman when he's disconnected from his own feminine energy? How can he value her intuition, her nurturing, her creativity, when he's been taught to suppress those very traits in himself? Women everywhere are feeling it. The unspoken anger, the hostility, the resentment. It's a quiet storm brewing within the hearts of men. An unconscious reaction to the shifting tides, to a system crumbling under its own weight. These emotions aren't born from hatred, but from fear. Fear of change, fear of losing control. But women can no longer wait. The masculine and feminine aren't meant to oppose each other. They're meant to complement, to strengthen, to uplift. But for that to happen, men must reflect and grow and expand. There's no more excuses here. And yes, I get it. Men too are victims of these outdated systems. They've been told to suppress their emotions, to disconnect from their hearts, and measure their worth by their control over others. But it doesn't have to be this way. True leadership is not about control. It's about understanding, collaboration, and balance. A man aligned with his own divine masculine energy provides this beautiful, stable foundation, one that supports the feminine in her creation. And he recognizes her as an equal partner, not someone to dominate. And this is in no way a rejection of the masculine. This is a call to partnership, to balance, to harmony. The feminine doesn't seek to dominate. She seeks to nurture, to create, to inspire. And the masculine, when he is truly aligned with his true essence, provides the steady foundation for this wonderful creation. Together, they are unstoppable. Imagine a tree, its roots running deep into the earth, strong and unshakable, yet its branches stretched upward, dancing freely in the wind. This is the divine feminine, grounded, connected, and limitless. We women today are navigating a toxic culture the best that we can. Childhood programming, societal expectations, and even the religious texts written by men for men have shaped a world that wasn't designed for us to thrive in. For too long, women have been told that their worth lies in male validation, in being desired, chosen, and pedestalized. This programming has kept women trapped in these cycles of self-denial, always seeking happiness through external sources. But what if happiness isn't something you find in someone else? What if it's something you remember within yourself? The time has come, and no longer can we allow ourselves to be bound by these chains from the past. No longer can we ignore that voice inside whispering, "You are more." This is our moment to create, to trust, to rise, and to thrive. And it's not just for ourselves, but it's for generations to come. And this isn't just about women rising. It's about humanity waking up together to create a world where everyone thrives, where love replaces fear, and where the divine feminine and masculine dance in harmony. As I look at the younger generations, I see something alarming, and it's this growing contempt between men and women. Resentment born from a system that benefits only a few is festering, creating division. This isn't just about us. It's about what we're leaving behind. If we continue to uphold these crumbling systems, we risk passing this division and pain on to our children. But if we choose to rise, if we embrace the balance of the divine feminine and masculine, we can create a world rooted in love, connection, and infinite possibilities. Women, the time has come. Stop looking to be led. It's time to reconnect with yourself. Prioritize yourself. Consider yourself. No longer can you suppress your intuition, your creativity, and your divine gifts. We are not talking about rejecting the masculine. It's about reclaiming balance. Feminine energy is not weak. It is a force of creation itself. When women step into their power, they don't just change their lives, they change the world. And masculine energy, when aligned, provides a strong foundation. But it's the feminine that brings life, possibility, and transformation. Together, they create harmony. Apart, they create total chaos. It's time to choose harmony. Patriarchy didn't just harm women, it wounded men also. But it's crumbling, and as it falls, many men are holding on tightly, clinging to a sense of power that was never real. The anger, hostility, and resentment women feel from men today isn't personal. It's a reflection of their own internal struggle with a system that no longer serves them. A man who is disconnected from his own divine feminine energy cannot lead a woman. How can he lead when he fears the very essence of what makes her sacred? Her intuition feels irrational to him because he's been taught to trust only logic. Her nurturing nature feels smothering because he's conditioned to equate independence with worth. Her ability to create and connect feels threatening because it challenges the rigid structures he's been taught to uphold. If men truly wanted to lead in a way that honored women, they would have created a world where women felt safe, valued, and free. Instead, we've seen centuries of oppression, violence, and silencing. This isn't to say that all men are to blame, but rather to acknowledge the systems that they've upheld. True leadership isn't about dominance. It's about understanding and collaboration. But to understand her, he must first understand himself. He must embrace the feminine within, allowing himself to feel, to nurture, to soften. Only then can he create the balance necessary for a partnership where both energies thrive.